Sup Crystal Cult, Zarobski Crystal of Channel Zarobski, welcoming y'all to another speed paint for one of the paintings of my first solo exhibition, Recent Revelations. Event below, open to the public July 6, 2019, 4:30 p.m. Galeria de las Islas, Intramuros. First things first, let me preface this by saying if y'all don't like my commentary, came here for the speed paint, stayed for the speed paint, no big deal, just mute and music of your own. Speaking of music, this literal little ditty's acrylic on 4" by 4" canvas entitled Status Symbol. Some things I did off screen, but that was just extra things like building the acrylic and some color correction. For some reason, acrylic dries a shade darker on this canvas. Y'all seeing everything else right now on this time lapse because it's relatively small and minimalist. I was raised in a family of doctors. My parents weren't doctors, but my paternal aunts and uncle and their spouses are. So, not long after I was born, I already got my immunization shots. My eldest aunt was a pedia. She's a researcher now, but she used to be a pediatrician back then. That's what I thought was the norm before, and if you were a baby girl like I was, the doctor too would pierce your ears with a sterilized gun. So basically, my aunt scarred and pierced me. And I remember being kind of confused as a kid, watching my life as a teenage robot and my girl too, and going, what do you mean they're not allowed to pierce ears yet? Or they didn't do that as a baby? But I digress. Isn't Mayor since the beginning of these two administrations, we've shared everything from wacky presidents, and by wacky, I mean misogynistic and loose lipped, among other things, to anti vaxxers and now flat earthers. Like, why? I've barely an inkling of what triggered anti-vaxxing in the States and much less about Tengvaxia here at home. Either way, context may be different, but the results are the same. Boom. Measles. Everywhere. Back to the scar, every other person has it here, or at least around where I live in. Usually the right shoulder like mine is. I know my mom still has my baby book stored away somewhere. It had everything including my vaccination record, which to my knowledge is complete, booster shots and all. Last vaccine I remember getting was years ago for cervical cancer. I wish I could say I was pro anti-vaxxing. The world's overpopulated and we've been needing another culling, so hey, why not? Anti-vaxxers willfully chose this. But that's not fair to the kids, is it? Paraphrasing my friend, the innocent must suffer the consequence of the fools. Now, I usually don't like children, but I wish them anti vax parents' kids get their immunization shots while their parents get a dose of what they're putting them through. How you like them apples? I remember telling that to my neurologist uncle one day over merienda, and he was so adamant that you have to educate. And I was adamant that many people don't listen, choose not to listen. And he gives you that look and goes and holds his stance that you have to educate parents. I guess I'll link Loco's take on the matter as well as the college humor quickie on how vaccines work. Gloco and Razzie Binks, I don't know them personally aside from being fellow Pinoy YouTubers, are nurses or studying to become nurses, I think. I could be wrong. They succeeded where I failed, but that's a story for another speed paint. For what this manky presidency is worth, it isn't all bad. Duh. I hear they're working on a no vaccination, no enrollment policy. Pretty smart, huh? As for me, I really didn't mind my scar before, but nowadays you can't help but wear it with some pride. The scar says two things. One, my family loves me, and two, they're not idiots. Once again, this has been Zarovsky Cristal of channel Zarovsky saying vaccinate your kids, vaccinate that like button, give it an immunization scar and flex it on anti-vaxxers like what you see, peruse my Redbubble and Ko-fi. Other social below or join the Crystal Cult, subscribe to get crystallized and ciao for now.